steps I take from my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you sick of being normal? I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal. I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
Got my foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil, channel rage through my vessel into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness, I could feel changes. Turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest, break out of my cages. I will not be nameless, I will not be aimless.
Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time to take it.
You are now live with the Locked In Podcast. As always, your hosts for the evening, Steve Ushler and George Mecaj. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to turn notifications on to stay up to date with the most current personal development tips and sports analysis. With that being said, welcome to the podcast and enjoy the show. All right, we are back. We are back with the Locked In Podcast. Just want to make a quick disclaimer. Do apologize for the 30-minute delay there. We were having some tech equipment issues on the back end. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for bearing with us. We're here with episode 160, and it's crazy to feel that we're this far. Again, thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for everybody who's been a supporter since the beginning, and new supporters as well. Thank you, Locked In Nation, and welcome back. So today it was kind of a last-minute little plan, but we're talking, we'll keep like 45 minutes here. It's another segment on dating talks. We haven't really talked dating since it's been quite a while. So we're going to talk about how the scene has changed. We'll talk masculine versus feminine energy. We'll touch a little on dating apps. We will talk about a lot of mistakes that men make in the initial phases of dating. So all of our talk tonight is based off personal experience. And as always, let me introduce us back. As I said in the little intro there, I'm Steve Ushler. I am one half of the Locked In Podcast and your host for the evening. Joined alongside me is my partner on the other end of the mic, George Mecaj. And George, what is up, bro?
Nothing much, bro. How you guys doing? What's going on, Steve? Good to be here, man. And yeah, I'm excited for another dating one. It's so funny because people are asking me like during the week a little about like different topics and like how we have a good podcast and all. And I was like, yeah, this week I said we kind of have something like it's like it might be like a little surprise set, because obviously we had something else coming up. Didn't go that way, so the dating one I think does a lot of people justice because people actually have asked me if we talk about dating. And I'm like, well, actually, yes, we do, and a lot actually. I told them we have a couple segments on dating. I was telling this girl that I'm cool with that. I wanted to bring her on the show. She said that she might be watching and she thinks self improvement and personal development or everyday struggles and experiences are great, but dating it's kind of necessary in this day and age, don't you think? I mean, almost every other podcast talks about dating anyway. If not their main focus, they definitely touch upon it a lot. So I mean, I think to be honest, I think today's topic actually goes well for 160. It is a big number too. Don't forget 160, guys. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, we have, and as I was saying, this is something we cover on the podcast. Quite like it's been a thing in the past that we've covered this quite frequently, and the landscape changes, right? With dating and everything like that. I know you would know, as a single guy too, somebody who's probably going on dates, regularly and stuff like that. The landscape changes. So even if you're in a relationship or you're seeing someone like me, it's the landscape still changes. So I'm still vigilant of it, and I understand that, and I have to kind of keep up with that anyway, because this is what our podcast is about: personal development, and dating is a part of personal development. So I'm happy. This topic always interests me. It does. I feel like, especially on the men's side, a lot of men make a lot of mistakes in dating. Quite frequently, when I was younger, I would make similar mistakes. We all do. The thing is to learn from them, and when you're younger, you're a little naive, but one of the things is, we want to help people, whether you're men or women, but obviously we can relate from the men's side, being men, here on the podcast. That, George, I'm sure you can agree, a lot of men make mistakes
Of course, bro.
in the face of dating.
Bro. I think men sometimes they don't make mistakes because they don't know what to do with it. They kind of get a little too, you know what I mean? Like a little too, like they don't want to mess up for the partner. Sometimes also, you got to be like honesty, and honesty is important. A lot of guys either don't know how to keep it real, get caught up, or they think too much and they mess up.
Yeah,
it's just not.
Candace. Candace. Candace said he's single, no way. Candace, what's up? Thank you for joining in, Candace. Appreciate you. Always I know these episodes probably interest you too, Candace. These dating episodes. It is kind of interesting to see the masculine and feminine dynamic here. I feel like a lot of guys do make a lot of mistakes though in the early process of dating, for sure. They aren't truthful, so true. Yeah, no, absolutely. That they aren't, and that's the unfortunate reality. It's people. I mean, if here's the thing, if you can't be trustworthy up front, it's very difficult. It's for dating to go anywhere. A lot of people do look for short term, but they're not open and honest about it. But they'll if you want something long term with somebody, if it's yeah, no, I agree. So can I say why lie? Waste of time. Yeah, no, it is. And when you're older, it's a really very unattractive to lie. Like, you should kind of own who you are, even if you're just trying to hook up with people. I understand people do it because they probably feel people are over to it, but you'd be surprised. I'm gonna tell you guys out there, you'd be surprised if you're looking for something short term and casual. You'd be surprised. There's other women that they might not be open and honest to the public about it, clearly, because they don't want to talk to people. But if you're open and honest about it, you'd be surprised. Those people that are looking for something short term as well. But obviously, if you're looking for something long term, lying is a terrible way to start the foundation of dating. It's hard. It's like you can't. It's very difficult to have a long term, sustainable, healthy relationship. Everything started based on lies.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree, bro. Get into relationships with trust. Yeah, and I would say trust is probably the most important dynamic of relationships. If anybody
communication and trust.
I think the two most important things to me, being in a relationship, is trust and communication. You need to be able to communicate with your partner, and trust is I think number one. It's the most fundamental thing. If you don't have trust, what do they say? If you don't have trust, we don't have anything. So it's realistic there, for sure. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. I see we got a decent amount of people locked in right now watching us. So thank you everybody who just tuned in. Thank you, Candace. Candace is commenting in here, but yeah, no, it's absolutely true. You can't really be in a relationship or have long-term aspirations if you're lying about it. A lot of guys also make the mistake is I'm going to say, I'll be open and honest about this for most men. I feel like most men, they the whole thing about can't say communication is key. Yeah, it is. It's very key. And I would say that a lot of men, George, you like let's just kind of dive into this. I think a lot of the mistakes that men make is, what is that word they use today? Simping, right? simping, and the word gets thrown around a lot, kind of like alpha male, beta male. People like to throw these terms around, and a lot of times, you
They
shouldn't
don't know
really
how they're using them.
people bully people. Like they throw the term around, like, oh, that dude's a simp, that dude's this. But instead of like actually offering somebody like key advice, like they'd rather just label somebody like, oh, that dude's
Or
this
make
and
fun
this.
of them. You know what I mean? Laugh at somebody. It's a very much let's laugh world. Everybody laughs at every fucking
Yeah,
thing, bro. A dude falls out of the building, gets cracked a couple times. They're gonna put a world star, and then like just for it's just a fucking shame how people view everything just for shock value, for entertainment value. Oh, that's so funny, huh? Like I am with that, bro. I'm gonna be honest. That's some sucker shit, bro. Fuck all
the
you motherfuckers that watch that. Fuck all you motherfuckers that watch that and laugh at that. Simple as that, yo. That's how I feel
yeah,
about that.
not. I mean, to be honest, like the only time like I see people is like if they laugh at it is like if the person continues to make the same mistakes and people give you advice and you continue like what do they say
Yeah,
doing
then
the
you
same thing
just
over. Then at that
insane.
point, it's not even funny. It's just kind of it's sad because it's like, what is the definition of doing what is doing the same thing? What do you call What do you call that for if you keep doing the same thing over and over again with the same exact results? Call it
Insanity.
insanity, exactly. So you're gonna keep doing the. Candace said, "Whoa, the language."
What do you think you're watching here, though? It's a Lockdown Podcast. We curse.
George, keep it real. Nah, they nah, but so talking about like simping and stuff like most dudes though, I'll say is this is just kind of how it is like if your relation and any women in here, feel free to comment in on this. If a guy is completely relationship focused, most women are going to be turned off by that. I'm keeping it completely real here. It's not that you don't give your woman attention, but you have to make your mission and your purpose. We always say this here on this podcast, your first and foremost thing here. It doesn't mean you're not a family man. It doesn't mean you don't love your girlfriend, you don't love your wife, your fiance. But you have to be mission focused in life. If you are only focused on relationship, focused about what's the next girl you're going to get. Me and Rob talk about this a lot, and Rob might actually be tuning in now. Rob, what's up if you are? A man who's completely relationship focused is a guy that has too much time on his hands. In real life, like you have to kind of put your mission and stuff first. And I'm just speaking facts, so don't get offended or anything like that. And
Yeah.
even if a lot of women probably won't admit it, it's probably true. Like it doesn't mean you don't love your partner, but you have to still put your mission and your purpose in this life. Number one, you always have to. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean like your relationship ain't like right there, very like right with it. But we're here for a reason. We're put on this earth for a reason to do something to change the world, whatever. But I see so many guys when they're dating, like they start dating somebody, and then they get maybe from an anxious attachment style, whatever it is. That's a whole another story. We talked about attachment styles a couple of weeks ago. Sometimes people have an anxious attachment style. It's a psychology thing, but if they have an anxious attachment style, they might get clingy and right to the person and just be like, oh, and they start building up a whole thing in their head. It's like if you're focused on your mission in life, the relationship's going to flow. It's going to come naturally. Whereas, like, I feel if you're completely relationship focused as a man, it doesn't really allow the relationship to kind of come naturally. I don't know, George. Can you kind of agree with that, or do you have anything to chime in on that?
I mean, yeah, I can agree with that. I think women are naturally more attractive if you're less clingy as opposed to being clingy because the word gets supposed to turn around a lot. But clingy is like when you're just like kind of too much. Like you're trying too much on the top. You're calling her too much, or him if it's a girl. The roles are changed. So it just means that like basically you're just like you don't really have like you said a lot of time. You have too much time in your hands, but not enough time to really like do what you got to do. Girls like focus. They're like determined guys that are not gonna call them every second, but definitely put the time in there. Girls like consistency too. And guys as well.
Yeah,
Guys
do.
like a girl that's gonna be a little consistent, and it's like how you will come across. The vibe you give as well. Everything else. Everybody keeps saying I'm a whole vibe, but what do you mean by your whole vibe? Like, you good vibes? Are you a good time, or are you just like a headache? You know what I mean? Like, because people always use that word and everything else. So yeah, I think that men that stand on business and all that are more attractive, and I think girls like a busy guy. Just and again, the texting thing is a whole different dynamic within the dating dynamics because it's dating out there and the texting. The texting game wasn't popular way back in the day. Now it became more popular in the last like 20 years, I guess, or 16, 17, 16 years. So like it's how you do it too. Let her know you're thinking about her, and she's still there, but don't blow her phone too much. That's always been kind of like my motto a little bit. And I know guys and girls that kind of share that idea, but then again, I know like some people that maybe don't understand it and they want everything like kind of like right now, and they might freak out from here text. Don't sit there, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Don't send your phone all day waiting for a text. It will come, just when it comes. You just don't even trust me.
Yeah,
That's
and
how
it might.
you make stuff in your head. You build up stuff. Tension. Insecurities. Paranoia. You think like, oh, my girl's cheating on me, or the girl might think, what is he at? What is he at? Why isn't he texting me back? Like, just give it some time. Patience. You live longer. You get less gray hair when you have patience. Remember that. Stress produces gray hair. We don't like gray hair.
Exactly. I was gonna say one of the things when I was gonna say one of the things when I was like a single and first dating is try to meet the person as quick as you possibly can. So I don't mean like as quick as you possibly can, but I say try to set up a date relatively quickly, especially if you're meeting on dating apps and you didn't approach the person in person. It's not a friend, it's not somebody you've already known and you already had their phone number. If it's somebody you're meeting like on dating apps and stuff, try to set up the date relatively quickly. Now it doesn't have to be a certain time frame. It doesn't have to be a week or 10 days or whatever. Everybody has busy lives. Not everybody can go out like every single night. And I understand that. But from my experience, the longer it takes to meet somebody, the more chance it's not going to go anywhere. You'll probably never meet up with the person, and I'm just saying, like, and I know it's not always comfortable, to step outside your comfort zone and meet the person and everything like that. Just meet in a public spot. Make sure it's like a comfortable spot for both of you, and just try to set up that date pretty quickly. Because I'm just talking from a guy's perspective, is I feel like the longer you sit there and you're on the phone for hours and you're on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and you're just texting, the less chance I feel like the longer that goes on that you're going to have an opportunity to meet up. And I feel like the spark and the attraction kind of dies down. So try to set up that pretty quickly. And
I agree with that. I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm sure you've seen it too. I'm sure you've seen it too. When I was single, back when I was single, it takes, the longer you're sitting there talking to someone. There's girls I had talked to when I was single, I never ever even met up with. And then there's other ones, when I do it relatively quickly, quicker, and you have an opportunity to meet in person, because that's how a relationship actually gets formed is, you go on dates and you see who you're compatible with is in person. I mean, you could FaceTime and do other things, but it's not the same. That spark needs to be in person.
In person. Yep. I'm agreeing with this, bro, 100%. And let me add on to something real quick to that. Also, guys out there, and this is for any relationship, like even if you're just like talking to somebody for a business proposition, if you're like a business partner, somebody you're a friend that you haven't seen in a while, don't get too comfortable caught up in this texting thing. Just always a text. Oh, I'm gonna text. I can't call. Shut up, make a phone call every now and then. The good old days were good with phone calls. You get use your phone. You know what I mean? Put it in your pocket. Make a phone call. Put it in your pocket. After that, people text so much and it's expectancy becomes like a texting thing, and then you have like the whole pen pal thing becomes like, a thing. I'm like, yeah, no one wants to pen pal. I mean, come on.
You can't get anybody's vibe from text messages. I mean, you can't read someone's vibe from texts.
I mean, voicemails are one thing, and then actually FaceTime or actually talking on the phone. The best thing, second thing is, or after that is FaceTime. But after FaceTime, it's about it, bro. I mean, like FaceTime would be the best thing after, I guess like meeting in person. But you got to meet in person, man. I agree with you. I think meeting in person, it breaks down barriers. It gets you to understand the person more. You get to see them, you know what I mean? Understand them, feel their vibe. You can see them in the eyes. You have to really understand. You can't be somebody if you're just talking on the phone the whole time. You really don't know how they are. I mean, even if you're just talking on the phone and never actually met. Again, texting one thing, phone calls another thing, and then these FaceTime and then actually video. But after that, you got to meet in person, bro. I agree. If you're in a hurry, it's one thing. But I think that after a while, you should definitely meet somebody in person. Maybe like in the next 2 weeks after you meet them. It's okay to chat a little bit. Feel it out a little, see what's up, get past the phones. Once you get past the phone games, that's, you get to see the person. Then you can kind of move forward and really get it moving a little bit.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I knew this was Rob before I even put it up there. I just looked and confirmed if it was Rob. I could tell. I know Rob is always speaking facts here. Rob's like, facts. Yeah, Rob knows it. Rob knows his shit. Rob's like, facts. Urgency is a key indicator that a business deal will get done or a date with a girl will be made. Yeah, you can compare them in a similar realm. If the girl is talking to you but not urgent to meet up with you, she's playing with you as a second option. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And, we as guys always, we keep options as well. But it's absolutely, it's going to keep you around as a second option. And any ladies out there, feel free to chime in on this one. I welcome all. We all welcome all opinions here, such as guys, ladies out there too. But women can get the kind of same feeling through validation, through text messages, phone calls, and stuff like that. Whereas a guy has to kind of have that spark in person to really get that same type of feeling. It's not the same for men as it is for women. The dynamics are completely different. So I always say, like, even if a girl doesn't feel too comfortable to meet you off a dating app right away, you know what you do? You escalate it by saying, let's hop on a FaceTime call real quick. And when I was single, that was a way that a lot of girls would, meet up, is because, they need that vibe, like through the FaceTime and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, after the FaceTime, try to set up that date. Once they have the vibe, they've seen your face, they've spoken to you. Work on setting up that date, because the longer you sit there texting and calling, George said, it turns into a pen pal scenario. And realistically, that's not the situation you're trying to be in. You're not trying to be in a pen pal situation. And it kind of, at least you kind of just being friend zoned as well. Like, it kind of shows that if the man's not going to escalate that, as a man, it is expected. Sometimes girls will ask guys out. It's very rare. Very rare. I mean, it's usually the guy is going to initiate the date. He's going to initiate
girls
the meetup.
Want guys to initiate. Let's be real.
That's usually how it is.
Don't hit you up first when it comes to that. I mean, unless
very
like
rare.
Really seeing you. If she's hitting you up first and hitting you up a good morning text, she really likes you.
Unless her attraction's already like a 9. If she knows you in person, her attraction's a 9. Maybe she'll slide in your DMs and try to meet up with you, but it's very rare. So try to escalate that date. Rob speaks facts. Urgency is a key indicator. If she's urgent and stuff like that to meet up with you, and she likes your vibe, and that's why I always say, test out the waters. I understand that it's not always safe for a woman to meet up with a guy that she doesn't know off of the dating app, but get the number, FaceTime. If she doesn't have an iPhone, it doesn't matter. Messenger, video, and there are tons of ways you can video chat nowadays. Zoom, whatever you have to do, there are always ways. So if she tells you she can't do it or anything like that, understand that it's cap.
Right.
It's cap, guys. Don't believe it. It's cap. Because if her attraction was high enough, she'd make it happen. She would agree to meet. And so that's like a mistake a lot of guys make and stuff like that. And that's what I say when it comes to emotional aware and stuff like that. It's like the anxiousness too. Like, you have to be able to understand that. One of the best things you can do, I think, before a date, if you as a guy are nervous about a date and meeting up with a girl, make sure you got a bunch of stuff going on in the same day. So you got work, you got a business deal going on, hit the gym, whatever. Make sure that it's essentially just another part of your day. So God forbid she flakes. I see, George, you can probably agree with this too. I see this a lot too, is guys are always complaining about girls flaking and stuff like that. It's if you have other options and you have other things going on in your life, you're not going to be fazed by it. You're not going to be fazed by it. So keep a busy life. Make sure that you're doing a lot of things that are beneficial to your mission, to your purpose, whatever your goals are in this life. And when you got a lot of other things going on, and maybe even options, because when you're single and you're dating, you aren't entitled to anybody exclusively. If you're not in a relationship, you are not entitled to anybody exclusively. So you can still be dating other people. I think that word gets thrown around as taboo, options, they're messing around with a ton of other people. But when you're single, you're completely entitled to do that. So make sure you have other things going on in your life. Make sure that if you're dating, maybe you have a couple other options that you're seeing and stuff like that. It will make you not so needy, and that energy kind of wears off. You know what I mean? It shows that it doesn't have to be a game. Really, just live an abundant life. You know what I mean?
True. That's the problem, though. A lot of guys don't even know about the abundant life. They just think about dating and having options, but never understand that everything's like a process. I mean, work yourself first, then build up and be ready to date. If you're not really where you're supposed to be, bro, dating should be a second option. I mean, I get about the dating a guy needs. Everybody has to go out on dates and talk to different women or men if you're a woman, but get your life together first and get everything where it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely social creatures. This is kind of how it is. But at the same time, you should be leveling up the other areas of your life too. Your whole life shouldn't be focused on dating and stuff like that. Me, Rob talked about this before too. When you're a single guy, if you're juggling 8 to 10 plates, which what I mean by that, if you're seeing 8 to 10 people, it's you literally don't have time to be focusing on your purpose and your mission and all that. If you're seeing that many people, it's just, how can you keep up? It's just, you know what I mean? It's just, there's no way to. You're not focusing on the other areas of your life that you could actually be improving your life. Whereas if you're serially you're dating all those type of people, it's very hard to keep up. So you don't have to have a ton of girls that you're saying, but just understand you should have some options, but you should also have a very abundant life. Like I said, it doesn't have to be games. You don't have to be playing games and acting like you have an abundant life on social media. Just live the life that you want. Career wise, fitness, hit the gym, anything you have to do to level up, George. So that's,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can agree with the flaking spot too, because we were just talking about that recently.
Well, the gym is number one. I mean, to be honest, dude, you should always go to the gym. It's for your own good and all. As far as the flaking thing, I mean, yeah, a lot of times girls really would do that, and no time knowing that they told you and they can't even tell you nah, it's not gonna happen. Guys do it too, but people like that flake you flake me once, it's it. We're not hanging out again ever. Like, I mean, if you call me, maybe you can make it work. Cause I need an explanation. I'm not gonna tolerate nobody. That girl flaked me once about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years now. Never talked to her again. I still got a number. I need to delete. I need to block her or nothing like that. She still looks at the stories. As a matter of fact, she looked at the podcast story on the podcast page. Never called her after that. Never. Nope. I knew it was bullshit. She's just like playing games. Don't play my time. My kindness. If you're still gonna come out, come out. If you're not gonna come out, then don't come out. That's it. Not chasing nobody, bro. It's all good. It's 2024. I got too much to chase. I gotta chase my own. My own dreams, my own stuff. I got time to chase.
It's 2024. We ain't chasing no more. 2024 ain't chasing no more.
No more. No.
There you go. Nah, yeah. You have to have self-respect, man. It's number one. Self-respect is paramount. If you don't respect yourself, that woman's not going to respect you either. Ladies, tap in with that. I'm sure you can agree. Respect is number one. You need respect. If there's no respect inside, if there's no respect, there's not anything. Love, I always believe love comes after respect for a man. She has to respect you first, and then love kind of follows. So it's just
that is absolutely true.
Yeah, she's not gonna love you if she can't respect you. It's just
it's not
simple.
Like respect kind of brings everything. Admiration, sometimes the character of somebody, how you care about them, the love, the qualities you see in them. If you don't respect that person, not even respect is it like how you gonna be loyal to them? How's it gonna be really anything, any kind of admiration? I mean, there's some people that you might not like, but you still gotta give them that respect. Again, you give them the credit. The saying, I give credit is due. Well, the credit is due. So yeah, you give them the credit and respect, but don't mean you like the person. But if you feel like what they're doing, you might not like it, but they do something right, then you gotta say how it is. Don't be biased. Be like, nah, he's this and that. I know a lot of guys, for example, let's kind of talk to basketball. They didn't like AI. They didn't like Jordan. Guys, they don't like Carmelo Anthony and all that. But all these guys are great players, whether you like them or not. You gotta be honest. They're all greats. You might not like how they play. You might not like him, his personality. AI don't go to practice, but he's a good player though. You can't say he's not just because you don't like him. So the respect is always there, but it's very important too. Even in situations, a lot of times, if a girl tells me how she feels about it, okay, we're not really, you ain't gonna go nowhere. I can respect that. But with the flaking thing and playing games and not telling you, leaving you dark, leaving you in red and all that, they get too comfortable, leave you in red. I could leave you in red too, girl. I don't care about what you hear in the songs. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. If a girl's leaving you on red and stuff like that, the next time she hits you up, just
look
ghost.
Look at his eyes. The next day, I leave him on red, huh? Yeah, not me. You're not leaving me on red, girl. It's a song. She says, "Look at me in the eyes," and next day, I'm leaving on red. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They can leave you on red. Here's the thing. It's like, all right, the next time you hit me up, because if you don't respond to it, you're not reactive. You don't blow their phone up afterwards. This is a game. This is just honestly realistic here. Is if you do that and you don't blow their phone up afterwards, I would say, next time they reach out to you, don't even answer them. If they reach out multiple times, just keep it real and be like, hey, look, I saw your true temperament. I saw what you're doing. And, ladies can honestly say this. Women test men all the time. It's just how it is. And it's honestly part of the dating game is they're going to test your strength. Yeah, they're going to test your strength very relatively, most of the time early on. Because they want to see how you react when you're faced with a little bit of adversity.
Exactly. They want to see they want to test you. Because remember, girls play her a lot, bro. They know exactly who they're going to talk to, how many they're going to go with a guy. When they usually do. Yeah, they pick who they're going to sleep with.
Yeah.
Be real. They pick. There's no like, oh, well, how you come? No.
Yeah,
she made his mind up, and then she finds opportunities. It's not like she first see the guy, I'm going to sleep with him. But she might see him and, like him automatically. And trust me, they decide. Girls sleep with, they decide who to sleep with, not necessarily the other way around. And I heard girls say this, so. You can not agree with
that. Women men will sleep with a woman just because she's attractive, whereas a woman it's a little bit different. We've talked about this actually on after hours and other things when we had the ladies in here and the fellas. It's different how for a woman. Like they obviously want to feel safe in your presence, so they're going to test your strength. They want to make sure that the guy they're going out, they're going to go on a date with, go out with, like, how can he react to adversity? When a little bit of adversity comes his way and he's challenged, is he going to freak out and get super aggressive? Because they're not going to feel safe if they're in the presence of a guy like that. You have to understand the best strategy is to stay cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be tough. Your patience can get tested. Your patience can get tested. You can be pissed, especially if you don't have other things going on and you were looking forward to like so much to going on that day with that girl. You're gonna get pissed. So that's why I always say keep other things going on in the day, and then like that's the thing. Like it's if they flake, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like on to the next. Keep your cool. And you know what? They're probably used to if they flake. A dude getting so upset, a guy getting so mad and pissed off, and texting her like 5 million times, getting frustrated. It's like, look, if you don't do that, it's honestly gonna that's passing the test of adversity and stuff. And women just do it. It's just a natural thing, and you can't take offense of it. It's just the nature. I like honestly, that's why I always say any ladies who want to come in and honestly say yes or no to that, like feel free. But it's things I've always seen. From my prior experience, it's just kind of how it is. Yeah. And I'm sure
No, you're right, bro. You're right.
Your strength.
Like you said, sometimes that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like you realize women think different than men. Men think different. I mean, there's more emotion with them. Men sometimes, like we can have emotions different. Women need somebody to kind of like lean on, but sometimes they have their girl they can vent to, or people they're cool with. Sometimes even their kids. I mean, plenty of women talk to their daughters, got a good relationship, and that's good. But after a certain age, of course. And guys, you might vent to your boy and all that. But then again, you might even vent to a girl you're cool with because you broke up with your girl and you have a female friend that, like she look out, whatever. So you might call her and be like, yo, such and such. Yo, listen, this is what happened. Oh, what happened? Oh, I broke up with my girl. Oh, what happened? And then you ask, you kind of tell her, she'll tell you. Like sometimes, bro, I have some female friends that are older and they give me some good advice. Remember, it's always good to know an older woman or two that, like, can give you advice. You know what I mean? Because they know because they've been around. And just like a guy, and it's the same thing if a girl has a guy friend. They're just friends. Let's not jump, conclusions. They're just kind of cool. They don't see each other every day. Because that's another topic we talked about. Can men and women be friends? And without sex, it's all a conversation. So she has a guy friend, and he tells her, yeah, well, this guy's doing this. He might be. She's like, why? I text this guy, and he's not texting me back. So you know what happened? He hasn't texted me back. Oh, well, and then the guy will tell her such and such. It could be this or that or that. Because guys get the perspective. I've seen it too, by the way. I've seen girls ask older guys, older gentlemen, questions like that about like the situation. This guy's hit me up. You know what that means? They mean that's me actually. I'm like the freaking counselor. I'm the therapist too now at this point. I'm like, well, I know what that means. Yep, it can mean this or that. It's not hard to figure it out, bro. I mean, again, the game is played a certain way, and girls will test you. Also, will see what you're made of, and it might put you in a certain situation where it puts you like your pride at test. So you gotta really not be prideful, but you gotta still carry yourself as a man and hold frame, like you always say. I always talk about holding frame and not looking like basically like a bitch or like a sensitive ass dude or dude doesn't know what he's doing. Don't lose your mind. Sometimes they'll test you in the worst way. See, the term shit test could mean just a small test, like she's just testing you, see what you're made of, and in a good way. She could also be really spiteful, mean, and she's testing you. You gotta just do what you gotta do. Just like don't lose it, bro.
Yeah, I just want to be clear. The testing type of stuff, it doesn't just end in dating. It continues into relationships. If she starts to feel the man acting weak, you're gonna get tested. If you're in a marriage and that starts to happen as well, they might still test your strength. So you have to understand that these are things that you have to understand. It's like you can't get pissed off and frustrated about it. You have to just keep it moving, and you can't get frustrated about that. You know what I mean? Holding frame is important. It's important. But you have to be living who you are. Like, that's the thing. I feel like so many people are like, I don't frame, and they try to be something that they're not. It's like, well, if you live an abundant life, it's going to come naturally. It's going to come naturally. If you're not living that abundant, I feel great when I'm firing on all cylinders in my life. When I'm doing everything that I need to be doing to level up and hitting my goals and taking the small strides and taking the small actions. This is when I feel my best. So if you have goals and you're taking the actions to get towards them, and you're living an abundant life and you're doing everything that you want, like it's in your, you know what I mean? You're improving, self-improvement, personal development. You're going to feel good, and it's going to come naturally. It's going to flow. George, I'm going to talk a little bit about dating apps too. So obviously, as a single guy, and I know you've been going on dates and stuff. Are you using like dating apps at all, or are you more just a cold approach at the moment?
It depends. I mean, I've used some dating apps. I haven't used them in a while, but at this point, it's like I could do the cold approach still, but I might know the girl and like I meet them, on my job and all that as well. But yeah, I mean, dating is never. I don't know, like online.
What's your thought on dating apps in like 2024, man? Like in this day and age. I know back in the day when I used to use like Tinder and Bumble and stuff, it was like I know Bumble was like the app where you have to reach out to people, and Tinder's the app where like obviously girls can message you. Obviously, there's Facebook dating too, where like you usually message the girl first, and
There's Tinder, and what's the other one?
Bumble,
Bumble,
Facebook dating.
No,
There used to be one back in the day, Plenty of Fish.
I know that. I know Plenty of Fish. It's like that's not that's more a hookup site. Let's be real. Plenty of Fish is not just dating.
Hinge is another one people used to use. Hinge. I never used Hinge. Like, I never ever really used Bumble ever either.
What was the other one? The one
back when I used to date, it was more Facebook dating and Tinder. Yeah.
I used Facebook dating, Tinder.
What's the landscape like nowadays? It's probably the same. Some of it probably changed, but it's just like I don't know if it's the same.
What I've seen, bro, is kind of like the same, but he's changed, and not necessarily for the best. It's just that you can explain in a little like biography, like what you're looking for and all that, but it's still kind of like a hit and miss situation. Like, honestly, if you ask me, bro, nothing's changed at all. To be honest with you, bro. Like in the sense of like how people are pursuing that, like it's the same kind of thing I was years ago. Maybe something has changed in reverse. People. Social media has made girls empowered and a little different, and guys do think they have a voice, think they get more options now because they can just go and scroll in look at a bunch of girls. So the approach is like they feel like they have more plenty of fish, more fish in the sea, so to speak. More girls to talk to. But I don't think really much has changed. Some guys are just weird on it. Some are just funny like that. Some are cool and actually have confidence to approach girls. Some are kind of lame. Some guys don't know. They just become pen buddies, like pen pals. But that's the thing. I think the main thing has changed. If we're talking about now as opposed to 25 years ago, or now to like 6 years ago. To 6 years ago, not a whole lot has changed. Very little. But to back in the day, with the online games changed, like correct my memory a little bit. Even I'm older than you though still. You might remember this. Was there a lot of dating sites online like in the early 2000s, bro? I don't, I think there was something online. Not that many though. Maybe one or two, but
not really. There wasn't a lot back in the early 2000s. It wasn't really like, there wasn't a lot at all. But now, like, in the last, 10 years, it's really evolved. Really evolved.
And you know what? I got one better for you. Would Instagram consider a dating site? People try to date on this all the time. Talk to other people, slide in DMs.
I've never really seen it as a dating site.
Me neither. But if you think about it, it is, though, these days. Everybody's like, let me get your IG, let me get this, let me get that. And it's for business. Sometimes they act like it's for business, but you really don't get the girl's number.
The thing is, don't get caught up in that stuff. I'm just keeping it real, guys. Like, if you get a girl who's like IG, and then it's just like DM and back and forth and stuff like that, it's like that's why I say, like, you have to set it up. And it kind of gauges her interest. If she's not really interested, she's more interested in just talking to you on like social media and Instagram and not meeting up. It gauges her level of interest. You know what I mean? It means her attraction and interest is low, and you might just have to, move forward. And yeah,
that's true. That's the thing, and I always say that, guys, just look at your stories. If she's liking your shit or even tuning in, don't mean much. Especially if she's not even liking anything. If she's liking and commenting, that means something. But if she's not liking anything, bro, that's
breadcrumbing, bro.
She's just looking at your stories. She's looking at what you got to go. She's interested in looking at what you do. She might reach out sometimes, but then just because she says like, "Oh, happy birthday," or "Sorry for this," or whatever sorry if you lost this thing, or sorry if your car lost. That don't mean anything, bro. A lot of times.
Cool. You want to meet up? Let's go out and grab a coffee. Let's go grab a drink. You know what I mean?
More. Maybe you can console me a little better, like but on a like on a Starbucks place, somewhere like get some wine, get a drink, get a bite to eat, go get some coffee, something, go play some pool, go out somewhere cool. I'll take it for a ride, but not on a screen. I'm not trying to. It's that shit though, but it's pen pal shit, but it's imaginary shit. It's just people, like girls and guys talking, and the guys think they're gonna talk to this one girl, and all she's been doing for years, just like they be talking on screen on IG. Nah, man, you better make a move. Get that number. I'm getting numbers, bro. Screw that. I'm trying to.
Getting numbers and getting dates in person. I guess the critical part is like, we're not seeing
in person. Yeah, number ain't gonna do shit either. Because even a number, realistically, in 2024, it doesn't mean a lot, bro. She could just block your number. She could just play you. She could just have another number on her phone. She has 10 numbers like yours. Now, which one she's gonna choose? That's what it gets,
Yeah, from the dating aspect, women have many more options than men. Let's just keep it realistic here. Women have opportunities to get much more dates. Like, when a woman's first single, like she has tons of guys that could be hitting her up. There's a guy that takes a little more. They have to more prove their value to essentially get those dates. We've talked about this on the podcast before too.
The guy gotta come across a certain way, like you said, prove his value.
Yeah, you have to be leveling up your life and working on your life. It's different. It doesn't just come across as. Obviously, you could be a super attractive guy and maybe attract girls to get on dates, to sleep with them and whatever. Obviously, long term it's different, but Yeah, unless you're like super good looking or whatever, you could get dates and stuff like that. But it just comes across as harder for a man. Whereas if a woman's just attractive, like she can attract men. And that's just the nature of the game. It's just how it is. And if you're an attractive woman, you don't even have to. The crazy thing is you don't even have to be super attractive. Like you can, um, you know, what people think is attractive is all different to everybody. But I'm just saying, we've seen, women just get hit up by guys. It's crazy. They did experiments with like Tinder, and it's like, girl created a Tinder, and she had like 100 something matches within like the hour. It's like, whereas a man did it, and it was like he had like 8 matches. So it's just like different. It's different. It's not the same.
It's always been that way, bro.
Yeah.
Every time when you're a woman, everything sells. It's easy because you're a woman. People want to talk to you, especially if you're an attractive woman. And again, yeah, attractiveness and beauty is a little somewhat subjective in a way, but I mean, we can all agree what's kind of attractive, what's kind of not. I mean, it's like, of course, everybody got their own little taste or again the type and all that. You know, shit, I don't not a type or whatever looks pretty, bro. If she's good looking, then that's good enough. I mean, I do got a type a little bit, but not, it's not. I'm not confined to the type too much. Some dudes really just go for the type more, and they kind of like they got one girl and she leaves, and then they're gonna clone the girl that they have with another one that looks just like her. But you gotta just try something different. You just gotta go see the personality. Because personality attracts too, but personality can make a person look very good looking. The looks are there for sure, but personality and where her mind or his mind is at,
What would you say is like a guy, like something that's like women are going on a date with a guy. What is something that's like super attractive to you? With a girl, you're like when you're first like meeting a girl to like try to get her on a date or whatever. When you're talking to her, what is like something that's
Are you talking about when I'm trying to get on a date or once we're on a date?
Yeah, just like personality wise, like what is attractive to you about like a female? Well, obviously looks is it's whatever you're attracted to, but I'm just saying.
If we're talking about going out on a date, like before they actually got her, like I mean, what's attractive? I mean, it's like first of all, it's how much interest she shows. If she shows a little interest, it comes down to like again personality, characteristics, and her traits a little bit. Like the more time I feel like you talk to her, and actually again meet up in person, very important. We gotta stress that because people say talk and they think we're just talking on the phone. That's talking too, but that doesn't mean anything if you're not gonna go farther than that. So I think when you're talking to her, you get to know the personality a little bit. I think the characteristics traits and how she's as a personality, her values. What else? I think also like her relationship with the other folks, like again with her family, with her friends, with even her siblings. How she interacts, the mannerism. I think they're important. They kind of definitely can be cool points, plus points. You know what I mean? In a kind of sense, in that scenario where you're trying to like build something, at least start out because you can't build if you don't even know the person. You go on a date or two, then you see from there, then you guys do some work, build something. And then after that you might even go on some big real dates because you're supposed to just like dating and actually dating for real. And then after that you might get together, where you're exclusive. But if you're just dating and not really, you're just kind of like trying out dates and starting out, then there's really no strings attached. But after a while, then you and that person, whoever it is, should have that talk and kind of figure out where you stand. If you're gonna decide to date and possibly see other people, or kind of keep it exclusive and try something out. What I mean try it out is like try to make it work and see if it's gonna go and lead to anything like more than just like light dating, an actual dating, like you're together, relationship status, boyfriend and girlfriend, and then from there all the way out. Like there was a meme on this, right? I've seen. He talks about how where people stand in terms of dating, like what are you, like what's the label? Are you like no label to it, but you just kind of seeing each other, or yeah, like not in a relationship, but yeah, the relationship things, or yeah, just kind of seeing each other, or you just trying to like go after somebody else. Like there was actually a really cool like a meme kind of chart. He talks about like first like you first start dating, okay, you can both see other people. It's not like you're not like this yet. It's not like really connected. There's another one. Like, yeah, been dating for a while now, okay, like you should tell them, have that talk at least, yeah, I'm talking to somebody else, I'm talking to somebody else too, but let's agree, like, agreements again. And what does this come down to? Communications, understandings, truthfulness, honesty. Because if she can't match you if you're honest, you tell her what's going on, and you can't be mad at her if they're left at this kind of like, I guess like, label, at this, at this kind of like stop, and then from there, you can go to the next one, the next level, but yeah, this level. Yeah, stop at a certain level. Okay, yeah, we're just going to see each other right now, and that's it. Or we might go out on more dates, and let's kind of like slowly ease our way in something, ease our way out of like anybody else we're talking to. Because some guys will do it. They'll leave like other girls they're talking to. If the girl they really want right there says them okay, you'll take them a few days. Some girls do the same thing. They stop talking to other guys, let them know I'm in a relationship now. And I think if as long as you communicate, bro, and these things are actually talked about, there's a mutual understanding and respect. Again, understanding, respect, and you try not to really play nobody's feelings, emotions, or time. And same thing on the other side. I think things will be okay. I mean, it's not as hard as the world makes it seem, but relationship tips probably going on since the beginning of time, bro. They're a lot older than us, you feel me? The relationships, and I mean, since the beginning of time, they've been going on. I mean, the dynamic, so or like the relation
It's
between
not.
a
It's
man and a woman.
natural. You know what I mean? Like we're just we're
Exactly.
wired for connection as human beings. So it's an important part of life for
Right.
sure. Yeah. Honestly, probably within the next 5 minutes, probably gonna wrap up. I can't really stay. It was unfortunate that we kind of had to get started 30 minutes like late, obviously due to some equipment stuff and
Yeah.
tech stuff. But so
Unfortunately.
like I said, I bear with you. Thank you guys for bearing with us and being patient. We originally slotted to go at 6:30, but unfortunately had to go live at 7. But anyway, no, you're right. You're right. One of the things I always valued was like when I single like peace, like and like the ability to like bring peace into your life. It was a girl that's already automatically combative with you, like at this. I mean, sometimes a lot of times this doesn't always manifest early, but it can still, on first dates and stuff. Um, how does it flow? Is it easy? Are there communication issues? Like how easy is it to like date the person? You know what I mean? Like I think that's important. It's very important. Obviously attraction, but you know what I mean? You're not gonna really probably be going on a date with somebody if you're not attracted to them. So attraction's obviously gotta be there, but at the same like physical and but I think also like mental like whatever like personality wise, like attracted to like you know what I mean, peace, like how easy going is it? Is it combative or you know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be so hard if their attraction's high.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think, like you
You
said,
know what I mean?
it's got to do also with like where you at, and like she needs to understand. She needs to be relate
Yeah.
and feel you. Like when you telling her, if you're telling her about yourself and about your life and where you at with it. But also, I mean, just because you go through your life, you also got to realize, okay, I mean, you might be going through a lot, but now you got this person kind of either stringing them along, or you're talking to them, or they're just there, or they're waiting for something. You got to keep it real with them to tell them how this goes. It's not their fault that you're going through a lot in life, and you just maybe you're not ready to really like you're not healed or something. I'm just throwing examples, or you're not ready to commit to that, or maybe you want to wait a little longer, maybe not quite, something's not right with you in your life, but you need to let her know and like, listen, I don't know exactly how long I got, because I mean, I'm going through a lot and I'm not ready yet. If you got somebody else, cool. If not, let's keep going what we're doing. But at least you let her know so she doesn't wait around, or he, you know what I mean? If it's a girl,
Right.
doing the talking, like it could go both ways, and that's really important. But sometimes you tell them and respect you, and then they'll wait around, like whoever that is, the significant other or that person. They wait for you to get your shit like a little more together. Sometimes they do. There's girls that like wait for guys, okay, well we can still go on date, but still keep their options open. And that's you should tell them, be like, hey, listen, I don't expect you to wait. If you want to wait around like that, it's fine for like, but I need like some time. You know what I mean? It could be a few months. It could be close to a year. It could be like a couple weeks even. It could be like just a month or a couple months. Naturally, in the modern world, bro, move, especially right now in the landscape of dating, how things move so fast. So you'd be lucky to have somebody wait for you like that. But I mean, it can happen. Somebody told me a while back, like they didn't really, date, and all right, cool, and we kept it cool. We can still probably go on a date, but she told me that like she's going through a lot, and it wasn't what she wanted to be, and that was it. Like, all right. See, sometimes it's a lot easier, but pour your emotions right away. People also get too right away. They catch feelings too quickly these days too. And I mean, we all been there. I've been there too. But just because you talk to somebody, you shouldn't catch feelings right away that much. Just because you sleep with them. People, that's the thing. They do it. They don't know. They don't know how to act after. How guys will sleep with a woman and they don't call them the next day. Well, you should call them the next day. Like, this is like relationships 101, bro. In a book.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's like a perfect guide to that. Like, if I'm being honest, like, you're like, oh, you got to wait 3 days, or oh, you should call them, or you should call them the next day. I think it should happen flow naturally. I don't think like there should be like a dynamic.
I personally, bro, would actually hit him up the next day. Just be like, yo, it's good to see you the other night. Whatever happened, if you slept with him or not. But I mean, waiting 2 days is fine. They do say that when you get a number, wait a few days to really.
A lot of times the woman will, if you had a good time, you slept with them or whatever. And I don't know, like a lot of times they'll hit you up and like, I'm just saying like personal experience, high attraction and stuff like that. I'm not saying you play a game, or anything like that, because if you have to play a game, just live an abundant life. Like I said, it comes naturally. Nothing should be forced into a game. You have way too much time on your hands if you're sitting around playing games. Way too much time on your hands. If you're saying like, oh, should I call in 3 days? Should I do this? It's like, it's just let it flow.
Let it happen, right?
Exactly. So that's my thought here. We're probably gonna get ready to wrap this one up. We had a lot of people actually that were tuned into this one.
Yeah, I didn't expect a lot of people today,
Facebook,
but I mean, more people
Facebook, YouTube. These ones are always interesting. I feel like to people. So obviously we wanted to have more people because it was like a last minute thing. Unfortunately, the one guest that's kind of been postponing, we had to postpone again. But I think this time now they're gonna have to kind of wait because we already have like scheduled content for the next few weeks. now. So hey, it is what it is. But we're actually going to be having an after hours part 5 coming up soon, guys, and that's actually going to have a mixed panel again. It's going to have men and women on here. It's going to be one of our later episodes, probably 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, coming up in a few weeks. So we're going to have after hours part 5. That should be good. You guys will hear about the topic as it gets closer. I don't want to really reveal it too quickly or too early, but that'll kind of maybe tie in a little bit here. We'll have that after hours part 5, and when we have that, we'll be able to have a nice mix of men and women on here. So we can, those after hours episodes are always get a lot of traction. And 6:30 a lot of times is for a lot of people is like around like when people are getting home from work, so it's harder for people to watch and tune in.
Sometimes it's better to watch it later. You know what I mean? Like after hours are always good.
Guys, we already have the after hours, like the guest people, like we're setting them up. But in terms of topic, let us know what you guys. We kind of have the topic set up too. But here's the thing, it's not fully set up. So if you guys want to hear about something, we'll talk about all like the spicy stuff, all the taboo stuff, like on those after hours episodes. So if you guys want to have a topic in mind, I think some of our previous ones, as we talked about airing dirty laundry in relationships. We talked about why do men and women cheat. We've talked about some other things too. I have to go back and look. But so those episodes usually have a lot of traction. If there's something specific that you guys want us to cover, let us know. You can comment here. You can DM us, and if you have my number, text or call. But yeah, and we'll make an attempt to cover it in a few weeks. We do after hours part 5. We also have some good other episodes coming up too. But I just wanted to tie that into this.
After hours should be a good one because like we can talk about like stuff like this and obviously more stuff. It's after hours, so people always think that like is it PG-13? Well, I mean everything's kind of like PG-13 in this podcast, but after hours, it's not that we're talking about topics we don't normally talk. It's just that we're more lenient. We're more like everybody's kind of done their business. No one's really in a hurry to leave, and we can start like sometimes like as late as 8 or even 9 and go up to about 10, which is why we call it after hours. Usually it's some good stories, I mean spicy stuff.
We've even gone to 11. We've even gone to 11 o'clock before.
Oh yeah, I remember that day. Yeah. I remember that night rather. Yeah, that was a crazy night. But see, when you have a lot of people on a panel and the audience is watching us probably can understand this, it's not that easy to have everybody talk so freely without giving them some time to express themselves. So you might go over a little bit of the time slot a little bit, and that's fine. I mean, we had like 6 people one time here, bro. Maybe 6, not including me and you, so 8 in total. I mean, could have even 8. And I think one night my service cut early, so I had to leave early one night, and it's still a big panel. I mean, like last year we had after hours. Earlier this last year, which was 2023, and then 2022 we had a couple towards the end of the year, like right before Miami, and episode 199 was a big one. I'm sorry, not 199, 99. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Episode 99 was a big one. Of course.
Yeah, it definitely was. That was a big one.
Bigger. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, man. Well, I'm excited. I mean, like I said, bro. So today's February 1st, guys. Just so guys, are aware. This is like our, what is it, the 3rd podcast of the year, right? Or the 4th?
I think the 4th.
The 4th. Okay, it's the 4th. We're done. 4 this year already, guys. We already passed the first, basically the first. How can I say it? The first period of the first quarter. Because remember, the year is a quarter, but we're still the first quarter. But we passed the first period. Today is February 1st, guys. The year's it's going by pretty quickly. I'm hoping everybody had a great early part of the year so far. First month at least, January 2024 was a long, crazy month. And it still feels like January, doesn't it, though? I mean, I still feel like we're in January right now, but it's February.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, dude. That's the whole first month of this year just flew by.
Just so quickly. I feel like I got a lot done, especially in the last days of January, but it was a very challenging start of the year for me, first month. And some of the reasons why. You were actually there with me for some of the struggles and issues. But you know this thing, my brother. If there's no struggles, there's no peace and calm and prosperity. You got to go through the fire to experience everything you experience, the abundant life and all that. Got to go through some pain and, rough times to experience the joy,
Exactly.
Once upon a time, the guy Star that does the shows, the dude Star and Buck Wild, Star, crazy old guy. He's like a mixed dude. He does the Star and Buck Wild show, and he does the show. One time he said that, I think it was a while ago, but it was on Black TV that asked him about Eminem being the greatest rapper, and he's like, Eminem, king of hip hop, and he started laughing. He was kind of trolling, but he's like, well, he's one of the greats. So even if I don't think he's the greatest, he said Eminem is, he's kept a very consistent approach to what he does. The lyricism always been there. The technique, He's a student of the game, he said, and he always paid homage, and he always kind of like always revolved himself around hip hop, and always said that I'm not the best, I'm just a guy that's in hip hop, and although very skilled and sold records, always kind of kept his true heart to it. But don't forget, he comes from the battle scene. Now, what does this tie up to? Well, he even said it. Eminem, he said he walked through that fire. He said he knows that too much. He's very credible. If they say, ask Eminem anything about hip hop, he's the right guy. If you say he's the GOAT, you can say he's the GOAT. Even if you don't feel like he's the GOAT, he actually could be the GOAT. I mean, there could be other 3 or 4 other guys, but Eminem is in that, like, easily in that 6 or top 10 list of the greatest rappers that ever lived. I'm talking about the actual list, not his bullshit, the GOAT, this and that. No, the actually 10 men that actually ever got on, out there and rapped. They're the best over time. Eminem could be up there in that list easily. Maybe even 5, So he walked that fire, man. It wasn't easy for him. He came out from that, from the beginning, from nothing, from the mud, really. Not to mention being a white fella in a primarily black or a minority type of generated, type of industry and run industry to do that. So yeah, Eminem went through the fire, and he never quit, and persistence took him there. Without sacrifice, man, in life, there's without being going through some hard stuff, even in dating life, you're gonna go through some ups and downs. If you never experienced some stuff like that, like like some heartbreaks or girls doing some like some flaking or some inconsistent behavior, some weird shit, some arguments, then you never really done it like that. You haven't dated enough, or you just kind of like dated just on your comfort zone. Like girls, it was probably you have a good chance to get with girls, they weren't really confident and probably just like you, or you're dating like I hate to say it, but lower quality. I mean, it is what it is. If you never went through none of that, bro, because you learn. You go through it and you learn. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You learn from it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I could have brought some guys. You know what? Maybe next time. But see, the thing is, the topics that my friends would have brought in would have been a little different because I'm friends with some guys from the West Coast. My friend Araj Debazar, my friend Sultan, Chris Yoga. Chris is like this bald-headed white guy who does yoga. He goes by Chris Yoga, but he's into like alchemy, man. All these guys are all about the art of seduction, of picking up. They want me to join this shit. They want me to do like I'm doing the podcast of the show. They want me to do over there and join them, but I'm just like, I'm too busy, bro. I mean, when I get it right, when I get my situation right, I come visit you guys. Motherfucker, a lecture, a Zoom meeting. I want to be right there. Like, I want to be right there in the West Coast, hang out with you guys, because they're also martial artists. But Arash, he's a Persian guy. He has like 3 main girlfriends, and he's so school, right? He's got like literally like 40 women to do the self-defense thing, bro. One was more beautiful than the other. And they talk about a lot about everything, even like polygamy. They just explain it. They're not saying that you should do it and it's right or wrong. They just explain it so you are educated, and you can make your own educated assumption, as opposed to just being biased, being like, yo, that's not right. I don't understand that. You know nothing about it. If you understand it, you feel that way, that's fine. But at least learn,
Right.
So, yeah, those guys. Yeah, I try to get one of them, bro. It's too hard, bro.
Yeah, it's hard. That's the process. Even to get links into dating. Yeah,
to get anybody in the show is hard.
Yeah, I mean, we get people. We do
a good job. It just
feels like our last guest, we're trying to get on. It's been challenging, but
yeah, it's a little challenging.
Outside of that, I think we're going to be, fine. But guys, with that being said, I just want to say I'm probably going to wrap up here. Just want to say, I'm excited for February is an exciting month, so we have a lot going on. So I'm excited for what we have going forward for this. And with that being said, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you for bearing with us too, guys. I know we originally set for 6:30, we went at 7 again. So I just want to say, again, apologize for that delay. Yeah. I know sometimes that happens here. So just want to know that, we try our best to, we always want to try to be consistent here. With that being said, another great episode, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy next week. Next week 161. And like I said, we got after hours coming up, so stay tuned. It'll be coming up in a few weeks, and it'll be a late show, probably 9:30, and probably go to about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So excited for it. But with that being said, thank you to everybody who rocked with us tonight, who commented in. Thank you to Rob. Thank you to Candace. Thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. So we had a good group. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Remember, blessings and more in 2024. So let's get it, guys.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye, guys.
Locked In Podcast Production. Have a good night. And before we end that, I'm going to give you guys a Dom DeMarco. Play it again. It was delayed.
He doesn't want to say it. He had to come out. What, he's stuck?
Yeah, I was stuck for a minute. All right, guys. Great night, great weekend. See you next week. Over and out.